Hey guys, what's up? Shin0555 here. Happy Sonic Month, everybody. It's still Sonic Month, so we're still going strong doing another Sonic drawing video. And this video, we're going to be drawing Hyper Shadow. I know Shadow never technically went hyper in any of the games or anything, but this is Shadow if he went into his hyper form, used all the Super Emeralds, and turned Hyper Shadow. Not much of a difference from like normal Shadow because we don't color it in. This is just like a sketch and a drawing part. But if you were to color in him, I guess you'd like do him like white or like rainbow type of coloring. That's the key difference for Hyper Shadow, and his back spikes are a little bit more spiky. But other than that, we were just drawing Hyper Shadow today, and this video was requested by Crazy Minion Bros. Thank you so much for the request. I hope you enjoy the video. And before we begin, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. That really helps me out. And let's begin. Alright guys, so to start off drawing Hyper Shadow here, we're going to break him down to simple shapes. So what we're going to do here is draw a nice decent sized circle. This is going to be where his head's going to be at. And after we got that done, we could draw another kind of decent sized circle underneath. And then kind of get like this little curve line like this. And then this is going to go straight into like his leg here. And then we'll get like a nice, or we'll get two circles here for his feet. Then we're going to get a line kind of going out here and then bending down. We'll get a big circle here and then two right here. Then we get a nice big circle for his hand and another big circle for his other hand. That's going to be right about there. And honestly, it's pretty much good if you want to connect the arms here with like lines, you can. But this is pretty good for the gesture that we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump into detail here. And we're going to start off with Shadow's face. So we're going to start off on this top circle, and basically what you want to do is draw these crosshairs here that look something like this. And we're going to start off with his nose. So his nose is going to be right about here, and it's going to be this curved line going out like this. And it's going to wrap around, and you get kind of like this bean type shape, really. And then if you get that done, you could draw in a little half circle here, and then you could shade all this in black, and then we're done with the nose. Now we'll go into his muzzle, so we're going to start right about here and just draw a nice curve line that curves up like this. It's going to dip down and then go up again right about here. And then what we're going to do is curve this around, kind of follow the circle that we have here as it goes up and in about there. Now for his eyes, what I like to do is start off with like a circle here. And then we're going to kind of follow the curve of this circle like this as it goes up and then over like that. And then we're going to start before this line ends and start right about here and just draw a curve line curving in from the eye to the muzzle. And at the end of this line, we're going to curve it in for that little highlight that Shadow has here. And then kind of the same thing over here. We're just going to draw a nice little curve line that curves over and up. It's going to curve into about there, and this line's going to extend out and then curve into about here. And now that that's down, what we can do is draw in his eyebrow. So what we're going to do is just draw a line hugging kind of the eyebrow shape here and then here like that. And now we could draw in his eyes, which his eyes are going to be right here. And you could start with a nice big kind of curve line going down and going up like that. So you get like a nice kind of almost U shape. And then same thing here, we're just going to get that U shape like that. Then we get a nice little half circle here and then right there. And then a little kind of oval shape that kind of mirrors the eyes like that here and here. And you can shade it in as well. And we could also get in his smile. So his smile is this short line going up, and then it goes straight down like this. Or I guess it's more of a frown, really. And you just get a little curve line right there at the end. So that's pretty much it for his face. Now what we can do is draw in his head. So a good trick is after you get the face down, draw in kind of like a slightly bigger circle that goes around his head like this. And then off that circle, what we could do is start drawing in a spike. So we're going to follow the curve of the circle as it goes out here. And again, he's hyper shadow, so feel free to make these very long and kind of very spiky, like that. And then this one's going to go down and kind of curve over like this. And then we'll get another one around here, just going down, curving up around there. It's going to curve into that line. Like that. And then right here we're going to get his ear, and his ear is pretty simple. It's basically this big kind of triangle shape, like that. And you can erase any overlap too as well. And you can kind of erase this like curve line here, like that. So now that we got that done, what we can do is draw in basically like this upside down kind of V, and then we're going to draw a triangle here, like that, and a little curve line curving in. So that's one ear. And I'm actually going to thicken this one up a little bit, like that. I'm actually going to bring it out just a tad more, something like that. And now that we got this line in, what we could do is draw the other ear, which would just be kind of this triangle going off like this. And then starting from like right here, you're just going to get a line going down, and a line going down here, with a little curve line in there like that. And then right behind the ear, you're just going to get another little spike here, like that. You barely see it. And then we get one more kind of poking out here, like that. Honestly, he looks like Supersonic right now. Mainly because he doesn't have any of the highlights, which we're going to draw in right now. So now that you get the spikes done, basically for shadow, you kind of want to follow this kind of center line. And in that center line, you're going to get like a V. And it's going to kind of just curve over and then go up like that on his first spike. And then from the tip here, you're just going to go down and then in. Same thing here, down and then in. And from the tips, you're going to get one here and then one that curves in like that. And then just to finish it off, what we could do is just kind of darken in this line like that. And that's pretty much it for his head. So now we've got his head done. We can actually start drawing in his like chest hair, chest fur, whatever he has here. And basically it's going to be kind of like this triangle, like V shape, like that. And what we're going to do here is start right about here and draw a curved line like this going into a spike. And then it'll break off into 3 spikes here. And just kind of curve over and in like that. And then right here, a little bit before this line ends here, we're going to draw another set of 3 spikes. And then curve it in like so. And now before we draw in any of it, like his body or anything, or actually we could kind of gesture in his body because that'll help us put where the hand's supposed to be. So his body's going to be like this bean shape. So it's going to be something like this. And then he's going to have like his shoulder here, and it's going to go down into like his arm, like that. So this helps us place where the hand should be, and the hand's going to be a little bit lower than where it needs than where we initially put it. But to draw the hand, what we can do is have like this nice little arc here, and then just draw 4 fairly decent sized circles. And then off those circles are going to kind of go into ovals like that. And I'm going to zoom in here. So once you got a shape like this, we can actually start refining it. So I actually like this finger right here being the main one. And what I mean by that is we're going to start here and draw a line going up, and then down, and then over, and kind of go up and then down like this. And now and all the other fingers are going to go off this one. So this finger is just going to curve around, over, and then up like this. And we're going to stop right about there and draw in this other finger. It's just going to go over and then up. And then the pinky, kind of the same thing, just over and then up. It's going to curve in. And now for the top part here, for the knuckles, you're just going to have it bump over and then dip down, kind of like where these lines would be. So it's going to go up. Let's have a little bit of a dip there, a little bit of a dip there, and then one more dip right about there before connecting into the pinky. Just darken that in. Also, to help show it bend, what you could do is draw a little curve line on the knuckles there like that. And now we could draw on the thumb, which is basically going to be right here. And it can kind of go off this, and it's just going to go over. Have a dip down before going in like that. And then we get a nice little bump here for the palm. And now we can start drawing in like his inhibitor ring, which would be this little curve line that wraps around like this. And then the kind of cuff part of his glove would be right about there like that. And then you could draw a line going out and then curving in just slightly right here before it goes up and then curves in to about there. And then starting from here, we're just going to draw a line curving over and then curving in like that. And then right here you'd see a little bit of a highlight. So you can just draw a little curve line in there like so. And that's pretty much how you draw this hand for Shadow. Nothing too bad. But now that we got that done, we can actually go into his body. So his body's going to go right off his hand and follow this kind of curve that we have. The only difference here is it's going to go straight into the leg here like that. I'll zoom out a little bit more. And then for this leg, we're going to start kind of where this line ends, like right about here. And just draw a line going up, kind of curving over, stop about there. And then we're going to curve down, kind of have this line going over, up. And then it's going to kind of bend in and go in like that. Actually, we could probably make this like a little bit thicker. See, again, this is why you draw light, so when you are drawing lines, you can make corrections. I usually say that every how to draw video, but it is a very good tip. So when you are drawing, start light, so when you are putting the real lines down, it's easier to erase them. So now that we've got the body in, what I'm going to do is actually going to jump into this hand, just so we get the kind of upper body done before we jump into the shoes. So it's actually very similar to the other one, except it's going to be more like this way. So we're going to have an arc going down here with the 4 circles that follow that arc. Get a little oval here for the thumb. And then kind of the same thing, just you're going to get these ovals like that. You're going to pick a main finger. I'll pick the middle finger again as the main one. And just going to be a line going up, over, and just kind of curving in and around here. And then, but for this hand, what we're going to do is actually complete these ovals. So it's going to go over, and then dip down right about there. This one should be a little bit straighter. And then this one, it's just going to go over, up, over, and then in like that. And then same thing on this bottom one, over, up, over, and in like so. And then we'll get those curve lines, again, to show the bend. And then the thumb here is just going to go out, over, kind of wrap around like that. And then we'll get a little bit of like a curve line here, because you would see like the fatty part of his thumb. And then just a line kind of starting here, having like a little bit of a bump there, like that, for like the inside of his palm. And honestly, the thumb would be covering up these 2 fingers too. So it'd be something like that. And then that we got that done, what we could do is draw a nice little curve line wrapping around the wrist here for the inhibitor ring, and then just a line going down, kind of curving around and over like that. And then, oh, that's a little bit too. And then just 2 lines going in for his arms there, like so. And now we could jump in, or actually before we jump into his feet, we could draw in his tail, which you see a nice little triangle popping out right about there. And you would kind of see like one of the back spikes here. There is 2, but the arm would cover up the second one. So you would see a little bit of that back spike there, like that in this position. And now we could jump into his shoes. I always hate drawing Shadow's shoes, but we'll break it down and make it manageable. So we're going to start with this shoe right here, and this is one's like almost head on directly. So to draw that in, what we could do is draw basically like a little square here to start out. We're not going to put a bottom on it, but we're going to have this, and this is going to be like the red tag on his shoe that's in the front of it. And then right here, we're just going to get another line that hugs it, like so. And then once we get that down, we could start a little bit above here and just draw a line going down, over, and it's going to kind of curve in and cut across this shape as this one goes out and then down to there, like that. Then we'll get the other inhibitor ring by drawing a curve line going all the way around like that. And now for the shoe itself, basically for this angle, it's going to look something like this. And then we're going to get the front part. So I'm actually going to draw the front part first. So you're going to start right about here and draw a line going up, across, and then down like that. And then what we're going to do is start right about here and draw a line going out, over, kind of in, and then it's going to kind of hug this shape that we have here like that. And then this one will start out and then go over and then go in right about there. And then for the shoe itself here, you could just draw a line curving in like this, darken in this line, and then you're just going to get two little curve lines here and here, and then a little curve line here just to show the foot bending, and then you're just going to get a line going out here like this, and then one out here like that for the back of the booster. And now for, you see the front jet here, and the easiest way to do it is just draw an oval like this in the middle with a smaller oval on the inside that you could shade in black. And on the edges here, you're going to draw a line going out here, and then you're just going to curve it around, and then just draw a line connecting them in like that. And you got Shadow's shoe for that one. And now we're going to jump over here, and now this shoe is more on like a profile, like a side view. So I'll show you how to draw that one in. So again, I like starting off with, so we got like the ankle part here. I like starting off with the tag, but this tag is going to be a line going up and then curving around like this. And then basically you're just going to get a little bump and a line going up and then over and then in there like that. And I'll kind of go down there too a little bit. And then you're just going to get a curve line that connects in like this. And now for this part, you're just going to start here and draw a line curving over, kind of have it dip down and then connect into there. And then you get a little bit of a curve right here. Then you'll get a curve line like this. And then where like the foot enters, you could just draw a little kind of curve or a half circle oval kind of going around the legs like that. And then we got that done, we could draw the inhibitor ring, which would be this nice long kind of curve that goes around it. And right here we're going to kind of get in the shoe shape. So it's going to be like a circle here and a circle, and more of like an oval there. But basically what you want to do is draw a shape that looks something like this. It's going to go over. It's going to have a bump right here. And it's just going to go over and then in like that. And then right here you're just going to get a curve line curving up. And now we'll draw in the like metal parts. So starting here, what you're going to want to do is draw a line going across, and then it's going to go up and then just kind of curve around like that. And then on the bottom here, we're just going to get a line going down, over, across, and then over like that. And we would see a little bit of the booster, which is just a line going out, across, and then back into it like that. And you would get a straight line right about here. I'm actually going to erase some of this guideline so it's nice and clear on what we're doing. Then we're just going to get a line going right here. And then right here we're just going to get that curve line going in like so. And now here we're going to get the back booster, which is pretty simple. Just draw a curve line hugging this shape right here. So like this line. And then when you get to about here, it's just going to go in. And on the end here, you're just going to draw a line going down and over like that. And then here, you're just going to draw a line going down until you get to here, and then it straightens out to that line. And that is pretty much how you draw Hyper Shadow. Oh, also you'd see just a tad, little bit of the highlight on that leg right there. which you could just draw with a line going up like this. So again, this is Hyper Shadow. If you want to make him look a little bit more hyper, you could put like an energy ring around him. So you just do like an oval around him, and then just one that kind of like hugs it like that. You could put like an energy ring. Or another thing, if you want to do sparkles, a good way to do sparkles is basically just draw like a T, like this, like a lowercase t, and then just kind of curve it in like that and connect the dots. So just draw another T going like this way, and then just like that for little like power sparks or whatever. I didn't do that in the inked version, but if you want to add it to make them look more hyper, feel free to do that. But other than that, that is pretty much how you draw Hyper Shadow from none of the Sonic games, because he never goes into that form. But yeah, I'll put the sketch that we just did up here. I will put the inked version I did beforehand up there as well, so you get a good view of both of them. And thank you again, Crazy Minion Bros, for the request. I do appreciate it, and I hope everybody's having a good Sonic month. And I'm going to hold this up with a pencil. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So anyway, guys, happy Sonic month. And before you leave, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.